Has death lost its meaning to you? Yes, it has, Trident responded to the Spectre at the end. The Atlas was a beautiful machine. The shipbreaker was rugged, reliable, and simple. It was well loved by maintenance crews and pilots across federal space and beyond. Converting lifter-loaders such as the Atlas was a practice as old as iron combat, but it had been a long time since the halcyon days of the First Iron War. The innovation of warfare did not favor the concept of the iron technical on the modern battlefield. But Trident had the breakpoint, an iron designed from the ground up to overmatch nearly any iron it encountered, and yet he couldn't beat Hikari's Jigabachi. How was he expected to do so in a one-armed technical? No secondary detection, no VTK flight system, no tactical forecaster, and a heap of adjustment thrusters that were nearly useless in atmospheric conditions. Defeat was guaranteed, yet Trident found himself in a free fall with Hikari's Jigabachi mere meters from his iron's fingertips. Darting past the disembarking Kosov iron and scrambling up the spinal deck of the Super Vulcan was the easy part. Surviving approximately 20 seconds of near-lethal G-force and a high-rapidity, hot-lift ascent was the hard part. Guiding his iron into a 2-kilometer free fall with a primary descent plan of using the zero-G adjustment thrusters to guide his Atlas to collide with Hikari's Jigabachi was the impossible part. But it wasn't like Trident hadn't done the impossible before. He triggered the master fuel gauge, the adjustment thrusters, and dumped the last of the remaining hypo in the desperate final attempt to reach the Jigabachi. The thrusters flared bright blue, but fragile maneuver thrusters cracked and shattered as they sputtered out in tiny explosive pulses. But it was enough. The explosive momentum propelled his Atlas's grasp to close around the Jigabachi's trailing ankle, immediately throwing off its air stability and sending the two machines into a joined death spiral. The Jigabachi's thrusters flared, vectoring downward to convert their forward momentum into precious vertical ascent before gravity killed both of them. "Sorry, my friends jumped the gun last time," Trident said in the short-range communicator. "The pale witch's lapdog again," Hikari snarled as their ascent continued. "Unhand me and give yourself an honorable death, rejoined with the ground where you belong." "Negative. I've still got a lesson to teach you," Trident responded. Klaxons inside the cram can blared as the ablative hull layers were sheared off in molten slag chunks from the Jigabachi's oversized VTKs. Trident's hands were already free of the controls, opening the ready rack in the cram can. "Have it your way, burned lapdog," Hikari scoffed as the afterburners were throttled to maximum output and the communicator shorted out from the heat. Inside the cram can, Trident flicked the safety cap of the A-Gull he had stashed into his Atlas's ready rack. He armed the warhead's impact fuse and activated the IR seeker. It whirred, hungrily looking for the first sign of mechanical prey. He brought the A-Gull to its ready position and deployed the heat shield, sinking his pilot's helmet feed to the launcher. "Yes, it has," Trident affirmed, and hit the cram can's frontal release. He stacks the final shot glass on the pyramid. A lone missile streaked out from the iron's cram can, flying directly into the fuel air chamber of the Jigabachi's central BTK intake. The resultant flash of the explosion cast a brief, long shadow over the pre-dawn desert. Two machines fell from the fireball, severed at the apex of their joint descent. In a few short moments, the shockwave from the fireball rushes past. No cram can ejected from Hikari's iron, nor Trident's. They fell, spiraling away from each other into the rising sun, towards the waiting jaws of the dunes below. We watch as both machines fall as dawn breaks over the desert outside of Krasnopol. The title card for Contact Iron Session 55 fades in. And for this part, you will have to suspend your disbelief as Trident falls for the entire duration of this song as the intro.